Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. Today I'm going to be making green tea cupcakes, also known as matcha cupcakes. So come along and see what we're going to cook in the kitchen today. So ingredients for the cupcakes, what we're going to need to start with is 1.5 cups of flour, half a cup of milk, half a cup of butter cut into 1-inch cubes, 2 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of matcha powder, and half a teaspoon of vanilla. So we're going to mix those up and we'll be back to do that. So what we're going to start with first is the cupcake batter. So we're going to put our dry ingredients into here. And we're using a stand mixer, but if you don't have one, you can use a handheld beater system. In goes our matcha powder. Now matcha powder in my area is available at health food stores. You may also be able to find it online, but just have a quick look around health food stores or specialty stores. So I'm just going to mix this up. And what I'm going to do now is put on my shield for the KitchenAid, because when we start to put in the cubes of butter, it tends to lift up the mixture. So I'm going to drop the cubes in one at a time, and then I'm going to let it mix until I have a fine crumb in the bowl, and it will look something like sand. So it's come to a fine crumb, and that means all the butter is mixed in, so that looks perfect. What we're going to do next is mix our wet ingredients. In a small bowl, I'm going to mix together our milk, vanilla, and the eggs. I'm going to do this before putting it into the dry batter. Okay, so you just need to mix that slightly, putting it back onto slow, or your low speed. Just going to slowly add it in. I'm going to do 1 scrape of the bottom just to make sure it's got everything incorporated. Now we're ready to fill the cupcake tins. So the next step is to fill our lined cupcake tins. So I'm just using my scoop here, and I'm going to fill it about 2/3 full. These are going to go into a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. Or you'll just have to check it after about 18 minutes just to make sure that they're not too brown. That all depends on the temperature that your oven works at. I'm going to fill these, pop them in the oven, and when they're finished, I will be back to show you how to ice them. So the cupcakes have come out of the oven. This time they took 21 minutes in my oven, so I'm just going to let them sit here for about 5 minutes, then I'm going to take them out of the pan to finish cooling on the cooling rack. So I'm going to show you how to make the icing coming up next, and then we will be back to finish off the cupcakes. To go with the matcha cupcakes, we're going to make a lemon buttercream. So what we're going to need is half a cup of butter, 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon zest, 3 cups of icing sugar, also known as confectioner sugar, 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, and probably 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. This is just here just in case we need a little bit more liquid for our icing mix. So we're going to mix them up in the stand mixer, and we'll be back. So the first thing we're going to do is cream the butter. And when it's nice and fluffy, what we're going to do next is add just a little bit of the icing sugar, so probably less than a cup. And slowly start that. Then I'm going to add a little bit of the lemon juice. And before I add any more, I'm just going to give the bowl a scrape. And I'm just going to continue alternating with my lemon juice and with the icing sugar. So I'm going to add the remainder of the icing sugar at this point, and then I'm going to check for consistency to see whether or not I'm going to have to add any of the milk in. So I can tell it's quite thick, so what I'm going to do is add 1 tablespoon of milk in, just to thin it out. And while that's mixing, I'm going to add in the lemon zest. One final whip, and we've got it ready to ice the cupcakes. So the cupcakes have cooled, and I've put the buttercream into a piping bag fitted with a 125 Wilton tip. So I'm just going to decorate it like this to have it look like just a little lace flower. I'm going to start at the outside and just turn it, work my way around, and then go to the next ring in the center, and one more, surround a couple times, and then I'm going to put some more of the lemon zest in the center. So I'll do that one more time. One thing I do need to tell you is when you have your tip pointed with the large part downward, the small part will be up, and that's what you want to be sticking to the outside of the cupcake here. So there we go. Matcha cupcakes decorated with lemon buttercream. I'm going to finish those off so my people can enjoy eating them. A nice light and refreshing cupcake for a change. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and you can find us on Google+, Twitter, and Facebook.